Hello and welcome to another Tech Articles. In today's video, inspired by this comment on one of my videos, which was about short form submissions and sending that data to Webhook, a request came in about whether we could adapt that snippet, and it'd be this snippet here, to work with Bricks native forms. And I knew that would probably be possible, but given that this was designed for a single purpose, it wasn't quite fit for what was being requested. So I had some time. I had most of the code there already. So I've launched a new plugin which I'm calling Webhooks for Bricks Forms. And I uploaded this a few minutes ago. And this video is going to show you about that plugin, how it works, how to set it up. And using this plugin, you can send your standard Bricks forms. There's no pro forms needed. Your standard Bricks forms to a webhook of your choice on a per form basis. And I'm going to run you through this. We're going to set it up, install it, and from there we're going to adding a form and getting it to send your data to Webhook. And we're going to do it all in this video. It's relatively simple and quick, so I'm not going to do any of it off screen. I'm going to start with a local install that has nothing but Bricks on it. I'm going to add a new plugin, which I've already downloaded. So I'm going to upload my new plugin. And this is the webhook for Bricks form. So while that installs, I'll go back to GitHub and I'll show you where I got that from. Here is the latest version. It has now been installed. I'm going to activate that plugin. And that is activated. And we should have a new submenu in Bricks called Webhook for Forms. And basically, it gives us an option to put the debug on. There's very little in the debug currently, but I will try and flesh that out over time. And we've got two input fields of Form ID and Webhook ID. So we are good to go. I'm going to go to Pages. This is really a brand new. I haven't even installed my Prepare WordPress for Me plugin. So it is really, really new. Test form page, publish. And then we're going to edit this with Bricks. And for ease, all I'm going to do is stick in a template, a Brick standard template. As I said, this hasn't even got frames installed on it or ACS or anything. I'm just going to put in a community template. I believe there is a contact us community template, so I'm just going to install that when I see it. There it is. Look. Insert. Yes. Styles don't matter. And there we go. That's all loaded. So the first thing I'm going to do is click on this form and highlight a couple of things to you before we do anything else. Now, to get this form, and we'll do both ways on this video, you need to get the form ID. And I couldn't find any place to get it on the back end except for up here on the class. So in this case, it's 76F5E7. And this form is ready to go. It's a form. I'm going to make the change that you need to do to get this to work. This uses the custom action of custom, which then there's a trigger that we can hook into. So it will trigger this action and subsequently our new plugin. And that's the only change that you need to make to your form. So when your form is, you need to make it to a custom. I'm going to push save, and that's done. I'm not going to take this now because I'm going to go to the front end now. And I'm going to show you how to find it on the front end. So your site will load up. What's here isn't really important. What we're doing here is a form. I'm going to inspect this form here, and it should load up here. I'm going to just make this a little bit bigger for you. And I'm going to scroll up so that until I can get to where I want to be. And there is an ID there somewhere. I just saw it. There it is. Data element ID is 76F. So I'm going to copy that because we need that. And I'm going to go back to my admin area now and open Webhook for Forms. I'm going to put the form ID in, which is there. And in this our test case, I'm going to use webhook.site I'm not going to plug it into Flowmatic or anything. This is totally off my site. This is a free site that you could do tests on, and I'm going to go back to our page here. I'm going to put that webhook address in here, and I'm going to save those settings, and we have our first form added. So the next thing I'm going to do is go to Pages, and then I'm going to go to View, and our form's going to load up. And I'm just going to put in here test. Well, actually, that's an email, so I better put test@test.com. I'm going to put test in here because I don't think it's a phone checking field. I'm just going to send my message. And before we do this, I'm just going to hit over to Webhook, and there's nothing here. It is waiting and polling to be received. Send my message. I don't think I'll get there fast enough before it arrives, but I'm going to push send message. It's sent, and it's there. And it really is that simple. So now our form's attached. I'm going to go back to our builder. I'm going to go back to the dashboard, and I'm going to go and make a new page. And what I'm not going to do with this one is I'm going to get the form ID, I'm going to get the webhook address, but I'm not going to put the custom hook in, and you'll see that it just doesn't work. So that would be my fault finding number one for you, would be always check that you've got the custom action done. So same as last time, we're going to go templates, community templates, contact, insert, yes, and that's done. I'm going to try and take this from in here, actually, if I can. That's done. I'm going to save that. I'm going to go here, go to my dashboard. I'm going to open Webhook for Forms. I'm going to paste our form ID in, and I want the new form ID. And I'm going to copy our webhook address again. Actually, I could do that within the here. So let's put this in here. And if I save those settings, and there's our new form with the same webhook. It doesn't have to be the same webhook. We can use a different webhook. It can go to more than. The whole idea here is that each form gets its own webhook that is called from the option table. So I'm going to go to our new form, and I'm going to now visit that page. And here's our form, and we're going to put our new data back in, and we're going to send. And it's sent via email in this case. But if we go back to our site, we got no hook, and that is because we didn't set it. So if we go back to our builder and click on our form again and check our actions, we haven't got our custom set. So if I now do our custom and go back to our form and do it again, just so we can see that these are actually updating. And you can see I've already got a webhook down here on the webhook. That's what the one means. And that has now been sent to our webhook. And that is basically how webhooks for Bricks Forms works. That's how easy it is to set up. That's how easy it is to work with. The only functionality I haven't shown you would be the ability to delete. So I'm going to delete both of our webhooks. So I'm deleting our webhooks, and we can delete these if we wanted to send them to email again. So what I've done is on the last form that we have created, I've put the email action back in place. I'm going to go back to our form. So you see our form. I've added our form back in. I'm going to go back to our form. I'm going to refresh it, and I'm going to resubmit it with some new data. So this say test4 at c.com. Test4. I should just put phone in there, and then message in here. Now, I would imagine when this sends, we should see a 1 appear in both Mail, because I've opened MailPit. This is a local install, so this is where the email should come, and I've got Webhook here. So I'm going to clear our previous webhooks as well. So we are waiting for when we submit this form, we're waiting for them both to tell us we've got one, and then we'll go and look at them. So I'm sending, and the email's there. Interestingly, there is there is. There's one in Webhook as well. So here it is for test 4 at C. Probably because we didn't have one. That it didn't put a one in the browser icon. Phone, message, Bricks form submit, post ID, form ID. It's all there and it all works. And if we go over to MailPit, as expected, we have an email. So this can work alongside your traditional email. So let's say that when somebody fills out this form that you want to send the data to a webhook to do something with that data. I don't know, maybe you customize a brochure and email it back to them. But you also want to send them a thanks for ordering your brochure. These are the details you sent email from within Bricks. You can now do that as part of the form setup. So obviously your email fields and all of your email stuff is set down here. So you can actually do all of that. That's native to Bricks. It works as normal, and then your data that's sent to your webhook via the new plugin is done. So okay, what I've just done is I've just opened up a incognito browser to get another webhook site address. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reopen our old form. And I'll tell you what I'll do first. I'll update this form with the new webhook. So I'm just going to take this form ID, because there is no update button. This is how you update. Take the form ID, which is our unique identifier. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up our Arc, grab our new webhook URL. So if you look at this one here, now if I put it in here, and if I save those settings, it should update our URL, which it has done. It's updated our URL. So that's now going to go to our private browser. And what I'm going to do is open up 7 to go back to, which is this one here. And I'm going to push save settings. So now we've got 2 forms going to 2 separate webhooks as it's intended. Our primary form being this one and our secondary form being this one. So I'm going to go view this one in the browser, and I'm just going to check they both work. So yeah, and I'm going to close this one down. So we've got 2 forms. So here we go. We now have our two side by side, and what we're going to do here is we call this test 5 and 6. Test 5 at test.com. Test 5, test 5. I'm going to submit that form, and I'm going to submit this one as test 6. Test 6 at test6.com. Test 6, test 6, and I'm going to submit that one. So you can see when that happened here, we got a notification over here that we had a webhook submission, and we got a MailPit notice over here that we've got an email. So that's the form that's connected to the email and the webhook. And if we go down to webhook.site, I might need to make this a little bigger so we can see. We just had one, 1851, 51, and this is our test 5 submission. So there we have 2 forms going to 2 separate webhooks based purely on the form ID. This means that you can have 20 forms on your website and they go to 20 separate places. Well, I hope you've liked the video. I hope that you can get some use out of the plugin. It's freely available on GitHub. I'll post a link in the description below. Yeah, hopefully you find it some use. If this video has been helpful to you, if you like content like this about Bricks, about WordPress, web design and all that sort of stuff, please give me a like, give me a follow.